most distant place imaginable. North of the Malian capital, some 900 kilometers across the desert, lies the town of Timbuktu. The fabled city has been free of tourists for many months and just recently freed from radical Islamists who had taken control last March. Getting a car here has become more difficult after fleeing Islamists destroyed the motors of the blue barges that used to ferry vehicles across. In the heart of Timbuktu, the rhythm of normal life is starting to return. Music and parties are once again permitted, but since the 28th of January, when the town was freed, there is a new beat on the street. French and Malian troops patrol through the streets throughout the day, searching for any abandoned weapons, ammunition or Islamists that may have melted into the population.
There are Islamists still hiding in houses or in the nearby forest. As long as the French military are here, we know it's not over. When it's all back to normal, they'll go back to France.
The rebel fighters had imposed a strict form of Sharia, stoning suspected adulterers, amputating the hands of thieves, and forcing women to wear full veils. It's only in recent days, under the reassuring eye of international troops, that women with stalls at the market have started to show their faces again. Nearly all of the women here say they suffered violently under the rebels' control, when public floggings were commonplace.
When the Islamists were here, everything, even our hands, had to be hidden. If they saw your hands, you would get 5 lashes. We had to wear gloves and long sleeves when we were here on the market. If they saw even a fingertip, they would whip you.
But while some stalls enjoy renewed freedom and business, one row of shops is now completely empty, looted by locals just a day after the military's arrival, on the assumption that the light-skinned Arabs who owned the stores fraternized with the rebels. The vast majority of Arabs, the town's commercial class who owned and ran the biggest shops, have fled. The first families ran because of the fighting, more left when freedom came, afraid of revenge attacks. Only 3 of Timbuktu's 500 Arab families remain, living here in this deserted neighbourhood. 2 brothers, Dana and Mohammed, are hanging on, selling their salt and refusing to leave their home and business.
Our neighbours have fled. Men, women, the elderly. They've all gone, even those who had nothing to do with the Islamists. The elderly and the women, it was obvious they had nothing to do with all of that. And yet, they fled. I'm not afraid. If I was, I would be gone. But why should I be afraid? Of what?
13-year-old BOUCAR doesn't see what the fuss is about. His friends are still his friends. He's just happy the Islamists have gone.
These are my friends, Hamma, and the other one is Manu. The Islamists have run away now, and the house of one of them, the one that used to hit me all the time, has been destroyed.
BOUCAR's dad agrees that the men to fear are gone and insists that his family should have nothing to worry about.
We don't encounter any hatred from locals. Everyone knows who worked with the Islamists and who didn't. The government and the army weren't here, but the people were. People know who collaborated. The military have come to see us, and I went to see them in their camp. They told me I had no cause for concern.
Just around the corner is another Arab household. The head of the family, 70-year-old Ali, is a herdsman, and he and his son also run a small shop. Ali is well known in the area and won't entertain the idea of leaving, even if he's aware of growing tension.
I
always have my ID and permits in my pocket, in case someone stops me and asks me something. No one's made any racist remarks to me. Timbuktu is my home. This is my country. My parents died here. My grandparents too. My family was here even before the French colonized. We are from Mali.
Ali's son is conscious that some people now mistrust his family, but he tries not to focus on that.
At the start of the Troubles, our shop was broken into and everything was taken or broken. But otherwise, life goes on as before. Money comes, money goes.
Ali and his neighbour Mustafa have been close friends for many years. Mustafa has faith in Ali, but believes that he is one of the only Arabs that wasn't involved with the Islamists.
There isn't one other Arab in the area that didn't have weapons or ammunition in their shop or home. But Ali, they searched his home and the stall he sells at, and they didn't find even one bullet.
Most of the Arabs fled to refugee camps in neighbouring countries. Some of those who stayed have been arrested and are being held with other prisoners suspected of being collaborators with the radical Islamists. The police headquarters, which was used as a base by the rebels, was razed to the ground by the French airstrikes. So the police and the army are now working hand in hand at this military barracks in the centre of town. Soldiers who abandoned the town 10 months ago now present their latest detainees. 7 men arrested in Timbuktu and neighbouring villages.
This man was the first one we arrested in the nearby town of Leré. Working with the police, we managed to capture all these people that you see here today. The head of the local police is also here.
This man comes from Nigeria, and this one comes from Algeria. He says he is here to teach the Quran and Sharia in Mali. These two come from Timbuktu. This young man is 19 years old. He is studying the Quran, and he says he was forced to work as a chef. He was arrested by the army, and this man we suspect of training the Islamic police.
The suspects are led back into their cell, waiting to be judged. But the government institutions, the courts and officials have yet to come back to Timbuktu. While waiting for the authorities to return, locals are starting to pitch in. These men spend their spare time searching for anything left behind by the fighters.
So what have you brought us today?
We found these weapons in town.
Sometimes these men venture into homes previously occupied by the Islamist fighters.
They're helping us clear up anything that could be dangerous. Weapons, booby traps, they bring it all. Even documents they find that can help us ascertain who was involved, who has or had connections with a terrorist.
We know where they were. We know the houses they lived in. All the administration buildings, the big houses. They took them all. There are still a lot of places left that need to be cleared, and it's still not sure that all the jihadists have gone.
Barely have the weapons been handed over when the Arab herdsman Ali arrives at the camp. He wants to give the army a present of a bull to thank them for the part they played in freeing the town. But his gesture is met with little enthusiasm, and he's promptly asked to leave.
The whites there. See them off the camp. We don't want them here.
This is the last time we will see Ali. Once the camera is gone, the bull is brought back into the military barracks. The next day, a crowd has gathered in front of Ali's house. His neighbours are visibly upset and extremely worried. Ali has been taken away.
It's so sad. It breaks my heart. It breaks all our hearts. Ali is a peaceful man, and we just want to be able to live in peace.
This woman saw everything. She's the only one who dares to speak, the others too afraid of what the Malian army might do.
A military truck pulled up and they went straight into Ali's house. They didn't ask any questions or give him a second to speak. He was so afraid he found it hard to get into the truck, so they just pushed him in and took him away like that. Ali had nothing to do with the terrorists. If the terrorists did come by, he always told them that he wanted to be left in peace. Seriously, if we could just come together as a people and stage a peaceful protest so that this confusion ends.
There were other arrests made the same morning. Back around the corner at the brothers' salt shop, BOUCAR is in tears.
The army came and took my dad away. They put a tarpaulin over him. The Malian army. Just like that, without any reason to do so. They didn't say anything. They just took him.
BOUCAR was present when the arrests were made. His grandfather, who has come to look after him, can't understand what has happened.
They wanted to take me too in their truck. But in the end, they told me to stay.
They were born here in Timbuktu. We've never left this town. Anyone who committed a crime wouldn't have stayed here now. All our lives, our work is here.
The Malian army denies that it participated in the arrests, but for Arab families in Timbuktu, today the town's freedom has left them living in fear. They worry about revenge attacks, arrests, and even being killed by the forces there to protect them. Mohammed Lamine, the director of this madrassa, an Arab, was arrested on the morning French troops took control of the town.
I saw the Malian army stop in front of his house and then they left. I went by to see what had happened and his family told me he'd been arrested. I haven't seen him since.
Residents say it's possible Lamine had relatives among the rebels. 11 days after his arrest, 2 bodies have been found in the dunes, less than 2 kilometres outside of town. Lamine's young wife and her parents go to see what many locals have told them is her husband's grave. They see the cloth protruding from the sands, they start to dig, and very quickly can confirm that it is Lamine.
My daughter came to me and told me her husband had been arrested. I told her to be strong, that if he had done something wrong, he would get a hearing. For my part, I have total confidence in our army. I believe in our justice system. But sadly, what has happened is that I have just found his body.
A week after the arrest of Ali and the 2 brothers, the men are still missing. Tensions between ethnic groups have existed for decades, but now the Arab minority says it's increasingly the target of revenge for the radical Islamist occupation.